Welcome to Creative Tien channel. Today we want to sew a mask that's lighter and suitable for hot summer weather. Last week we have a PDF download of the mask pattern for adult and kids. Today's design is similar, but we reduce the fabric on the top and bottom so it's less bulky and you will be more comfortable to wear for long term. Another difference is the choice of fabric. We can pick up lighter fabric for this project, and there are many choices such as linen fabric or the seersucker. You see the texture, or just a light t-shirt jersey fabric. You can also use regular cotton fabric or a combination of this fabric. You might have concern about the effectiveness of the mask when the fabric is lighter and thinner. I would say these are suitable for everyday wear, especially when you are outdoors. If you need a stronger protection, you will have to use thicker cotton fabric. Either way, the homemade masks are not medical masks, and you will have to decide when is a suitable time for a lighter mask and when you need a serious mask. If you're just going out running or walking your dog, this mask should be good enough. And I do have a free PDF download. You can check the link in the description box below the video or go to my website creativetien.com. I'm going to show you the kids version today. Last time in my pattern, I only show one side of the pattern because the other side you can just flip it and mark your pattern. But today I just want to be more clear and keep everything simple, so I show both sides of the pattern. And you will need to cut 1 inch for the front fabric and 1 inch for the back fabric. And I already include 1/4 inch seam allowance. And this is a folding line that's about 3/8 of an inch or 1 centimeter. And I mark the notch at the corner. That's a matching point for the front and back of the mask. I'm going to choose a seersucker fabric and also the linen fabric. And as you can see, my pattern has the top side and bottom side. In my last week's pattern, there's no up or down side. They are the same either way. And since I try to keep it light, I trim off the extra fabric that covers the chin and around the cheek area. So you can cut off the pattern like that and just place on top of the fabric. And I always align this line because that's a straight line. If you have any pattern on the fabric, make sure that's a straight line so the pattern will be straight. If your fabric doesn't have a right side or wrong side like this one, you can just fold the fabric in half, mark it, and then cut it. And if your fabric has directional pattern, you want to put it this way so the pattern will be in the right direction. And you can see we only need a little bit of fabric, so you can recycle your old clothes. It will make good mask too. Now we cut all 4 pieces based on the pattern. The sewing part is actually very easy. First we sew the center, and then we'll put these 2 sides together. And to sew the center line, make sure you have the right side facing each other. For this fabric, it doesn't have obvious front or back side, so it doesn't matter. The only thing you want to pay attention is the direction, because I have a top side and bottom side. And the top side has a bigger curve here because of the nose, and this part will be higher too. The chin side is more flat. So we just pin and sew a line from the top down, about 1/4 inch seam allowance. And we'll do the same for the back pieces. So just sew a straight line, and you can back stitch at the beginning and the end. Now we finish sewing the line. The next thing is to clip the curve area so it'll be easier to turn over. Now after clipping, we can open up the seams and iron it, or just fold it to one side so it's not so bulky. Now we finish the center line. The next thing is to connect these two pieces together. And again, we want to make sure the top side is on the top. We open it up and have the right side facing each other. The right side facing each other, the top side on the top. It'll be like that. So I pin it up and we're just going to sew a line from the end all the way to the other side and a line in the bottom all the way to the other side. So we still have the sides open and we will turn over from this opening. And again, it's about 1/4 inch seam allowance. You can adjust it if you want. And we'll backstitch at the beginning and at the end. And when we are at the center, make sure you open up the seam or push it to one side in the opposite direction so it's less bulky. For this part, I like to go over it twice, so I will backstitch a few times and then continue going all the way. Now this side is finished, we just have to do the other side. Now we finish sewing the lines on the top and bottom. That's what it looks like. And we just need to turn it inside out through the opening at the sides. Now I will iron it and fold the side in maybe 1/2 inch or 3/8 of an inch. And when you are ironing, make sure you pull out the parts that are near the curve so it's not hidden inside. After the ironing, you can see it has a lot of room in the center for breathing. So the next thing is to install the elastic. Since I'm doing the kid size mask, you can cut elastic around 6 or 7 inches depending on the age of your child. I tried 6.5 inches, that fits pretty well for my 6 years old. I'm going to cut 2 pieces of 7 inches for my 11 years old. And you just have to adjust a little bit to find the correct length for your kid. So that's 2 pieces of 7 inches. For adult size pattern, I usually use 7.5 inches. If you have a bigger face, you can make it longer. So I'm going to insert the elastic, maybe 3/8 of an inch or 1/2 inch in. This is another area you can adjust the length. If you insert it deeper, the elastic will be shorter. And just make sure the elastic is not twisted when you insert it, and both sides are about the same distance. You can check it when you close it up. They are about the same length. And we just sew a line from top down and backstitch at the beginning and at the end so the elastic is more secure. And you can have this line pretty close to the edge, or you can have a 1/4 inch seam allowance. It's up to you. And I'm going to change my top thread to white so it doesn't show a black line here. So that's the finished mask. It's also reversible. And this is the top side because of the curve here and here for the nose. Thank you for watching today, and don't forget to download your pattern.